So I've been thinking all week about what I wanted to make the next video about, and I've been going through some creative blocks with college coming back and all, but one thing kept creeping back into my mind time and time again, and that is just how much I adore Persona 4. I've said it many times that it's my favorite Persona game, but I've never gone into deep detail as to why that's the case. I mean, I even rated above Persona 5 Royal, the game that changed my life, and I have literally completed the entire P4 series. Every game, manga, and anime, and I even have the limited run games collector's edition coming in. So today, I want to nerd out about one of my favorite comfort games, especially since for some reason I see a lot of hate for it lately, so I want to break that streak. I'm going to be going over a bunch of different topics, so I really hope you enjoy it, and if you do, please consider dropping a like and a subscribe. Most of you are not, and I would really appreciate it. First thing I want to start off with before even the story is just the vibes of the game, because for me there is no game like Persona 4 when it comes to this aspect. Persona 4 with the music, the atmosphere, characters, color choice, older TV aesthetic, everything just makes it feel so nostalgic and serene for me. Booting up this game feels like a nice warm blanket on a cool summer morning, and no game has ever made me feel that way before, and it's even weirder that P4 does this for me because I didn't even play it when I was younger. I first played Persona 4 around 2021, so about 3 years ago, and the only game that comes close to giving me the same feeling is the original Resident Evil 4, because I've been playing that all my life. I mean, that was one of the first games I ever played alongside GTA San Andreas, so the fact P4 conveys that confuses me because I'm feeling nostalgic for something that really shouldn't even feel that way. So I'd like to know if any of y'all have a similar feeling as me. Please drop a comment if you do. I want to know I'm not crazy. I would love to think I'm not. What else adds to the vibes a lot is the setting. I live in a pretty rural area, so I know exactly how it is to have absolutely nothing to do other than hanging out and chilling with your friends. So that alongside the mystery aspect of this otherwise innocent and peaceful small town makes it really cool to go through. It makes the moments you have together feel more special, at least that's how I see it. And Inuma is one of my favorite settings for any game, honestly. Of course, the vibes are only exemplified with the rest of what the game does well, so let's segue into the next most important thing for me, which is the main story, of course. First off, this will have some slight spoilers, so if that bothers you, I will have timestamps for you to skip to on screen as necessary. Straight off the bat, I have to make it clear that this game's story is not perfect. In fact, there are some aspects to it that I think are outright really bad, but what it does well makes up for it tenfold. Persona 1 and Persona 4 to me are what I like to call the most Persona the games have ever been, and that might sound dumb as hell initially, so let me explain what I mean by that. Persona as a series has always been largely about confronting and accepting who you are, and using that acceptance to work on your issues and become a stronger person, and in my point of view, Persona 1 and Persona 4 have tackled that theme the best. This isn't to say that other games haven't done this pretty well, but these games use it as the main focal point of the entire experience, which is why I have a huge fondness for them narratively. Every character's arc and growth was something I could empathize and relate to, especially Kanji's, so learning about who would be the next victim on the Midnight Channel was always interesting to me, because I knew for a fact I was going to see something that would hit me in the feels. And not just that, I feel like this game tackled some pretty important issues that are still ever relevant to this day, and I respect it a lot for that. Then on top of the main character arcs you experience, the fact you're going on this big detective mystery alongside the friends you make along the way makes it feel like such a fun and engaging experience. There's a reason P4 is jokingly compared to Scooby-Doo in this regard because it can be a little goofy at times, but it's just so damn enjoyable, exactly as Scooby-Doo is. But then you got those serious moments too, and when P4 does serious moments right, my god y'all, it nearly breaks me. The Heaven Dungeon in particular is my all-time favorite dungeon in any Persona game. Seeing Nanako's inner struggles of dealing with loneliness, the death of her mother, and wanting to see her again, like bro, oh my god, it's so good, man, it's so good. It's just a gorgeous dungeon visually, easily the best in my opinion, and then the music on top of it and the whole narrative of her being captured by the killer you finally seemingly cornered, it's just the best in any game for me, seriously. I'm probably going to make an entire video on it, but that's for another day. So overall, Persona 4 for me has some of the highest highs in the series by far story-wise, and while it certainly does have its fair share of lows, it really doesn't matter to me too much because the other biggest half of the game, that being the social links, can make the low points of the story more tolerable for me since I can focus on those more than the main narrative. So let me go into the social links next and why I love these so much in this game. This game doesn't have my overall favorite social links in the series, but across the board they are very good. All of the main party social links are superb, of course, but social links like Saki's brother, the old lady, Ebihara, yes, Ebihara fight me, are great for this game and what it's trying to do. There's maybe only one social link in the game where after beating it, I was like, that wasn't the most enjoyable. But the rest I was like, hell yes, that felt good to complete. Even social links like Shu, who most people probably didn't even do. Nanako and Dojima are some of my all-time favorite social links in the series, because it feels like more so than any other link, it ties in so well with the main storyline. Now, I wouldn't want every social link to have direct ties to the main narrative, because one of the appeals of it is that people you meet are just ordinary people, and it makes the game feel more alive outside of the main narrative. But I gotta say, when they do have ties, it's usually pretty damn fire. Sojiro from Persona 5 is another example of a great social link in this aspect. The dynamic between both of their social links was always very intriguing to me as well, because from what I remember, these two are the only ones that kind of advance alongside each other. I don't know, I just think they did a lot of good with these ones overall, and they are very memorable, so I wanted to give them an extra spotlight. Oh yeah, the other thing that Persona 4's social links did that was really cool was letting you choose which team or path you wanted to go down for certain ones, and depending on what you chose, the link would be completely different. Like Ko and Daisuke, who are another one of my favorite links, let you choose between the soccer and basketball team, and if you chose soccer, it would focus on Daisuke, and Ko for basketball. I always thought that was really dope, and it makes it even better that either choice you make has a good storyline, and it adds a ton of replay value. On top of all the good things I've said, to me, I always felt like the social links in this game felt the most human. Again, this isn't to say that 3 or 5s are bad, because they really aren't. But it felt to me that the struggles and growth the links had were a lot easier for me to relate to in some way in Persona 4, and for that reason I have a genuine fondness for them even if they aren't my favorite in the series. Now this next topic we're going to cover is one of my favorites, and that is the music. Persona 4 by far and away has my favorite music in the entire Persona series overall. Chihoko Harada as the singer and this real upbeat vibe with the sad undertones give a similar vibe to Persona 3's soundtrack, but just a lot happier sounding if you will, which I think is pretty damn cool and for sure done on purpose to show the difference of the investigation team to that of C's. I could sit here all day listing off the amazing songs this OST has, but just a few are Heaven, Your Affection, Heartbeat Heartbreak, Signs of Love, I'll Face Myself, and my favorite opening, Pursuing My True Self. Persona 4 has the best overall themes by a long shot, some of the best boss themes, and I think the dungeon themes get slept on a lot for the most part. They are better than most people give it credit for. All the incredible songs add to the vibes and aesthetic I was talking about before so much. The game would not be as nearly as enjoyable as it is without the jaw-dropping lineup of tracks it has, and Your Affection in particular does a lot for me. Every single playthrough I do, I just sit there, listen to it, and do the fated spin around and fuck around with Narukami for like 3 minutes straight. That song is something special, and it holds a special place for me. It's why anytime I have an excuse to use it in a video, I always do. I'm not a music expert or anything, so I can't go super in depth on this topic, but man, I cannot sing the praises of this OST. This game has enough. You know that meme where it's like, man, I can't believe I got a free game with the album I bought? Yeah, that's me. And clearly a lot of you as well, because this game got hella streams on stuff like Spotify, so I'm sure you all see where I'm coming from on this one. I really don't think this game has a single bad song, so that's pretty damn impressive if I do say so myself. The last thing I'll talk about to keep this nice and concise is the gameplay. Despite how very simple the gameplay of Persona 4 is, I think it's a ton of fun. It's basically Persona 3 Festus combat, but with controllable party members, and that's really all I could ask for. I'm one of those people where no matter what reasoning the devs or fans want to give, I just want to control my party members. I don't want the AI to control the party members, just let me play the game, please. As I said in my golden tier list video, where I ranked all the party members gameplay wise, the characters are all very well balanced and well rounded, so you can use whoever you want to and make it through just fine. I always use something like Yosuke, Chie, and Yukiko, so just the default party you get from the start, and I was cooking through the whole game. So yeah, even though I think Yosuke is the weakest party member, he's still good. Other than that, honestly, I don't have anything else I want to talk about for the gameplay. It's just good, basic, and serviceable. No complaints at all, and I have a lot of fun with the gameplay loop of the dungeons, which I do believe get overhated as well. They are not that bad to go through. So to wrap things up so this video doesn't get too long, Persona 4 has my favorite cast of characters, the best vibes, some of my favorite story moments, my favorite music by far, the best themes, some goated social links, and good gameplay. So honestly, what more can you really ask for out of a Persona game? Every time I play Persona 4, I just get a massive smile on my face because it's such a comforting game, which is ironic because it is a murder mystery, but you know, it just be like that sometimes. When I first beat Persona 5, I thought to myself, man, I don't know if it'll get much better than this, but then it did for me. And I think that's pretty damn awesome and goes to show how good Persona is as a series. But you want to know what else is good? Dropping a like and subscribe to Yandere Gogeta on youtube.com to stay updated with my content going forward, because homies, we have reached the end of this video. How do you feel about Persona 4? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Feel free to drop some comments. I tend to read and respond to most of them, but other than that, I've said all I want to say. It's been your boy Yandere Gogeta, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out everybody, and have a great day.